The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. We are going to have Tim Bost as our guest today, Norm Winsky tomorrow, and next week, folks, we are loaded up. We're going to have John Person on Monday, David Paul on Tuesday, Stan Hartley on Wednesday, and Jeff Hughes on Thursday, and the 30th, the last day of the month, we're going to have a very special mystery guest that I'm still trying to find out who it's going to be. Okay, I posted the chart here for the DAX and the FTSE. You see, they've made some type of a top and have had a correction. Looks like they're getting ready to make a Gartley to the downside. The retracement that we made here in the S&P so far up there at that 4169 was a 78% retracement of the whole move. The Russell was a little bit behind that, as was the NASDAQ. But, you know, there may or may not be a top up here, folks. I don't know. All I know is that, you know, we're in an area where it could be a top. That's the bottom line. We're going to have Mr. Z's going to be coming on a little bit because there's a lot of things happening over in the Board of Trade ream with the soybeans, wheat, corn, all that stuff is going nuts. I mean, we got spot corn up above $6 a bushel, folks. I got a couple of farmer friends that have offers on their farms that they haven't seen in well over 12 years to sell the farm. And of course, they've been in the farming business for over 100 years, and they're not going to sell anything. But the fact that the offers are starting to come in probably means something. One other really good news here. Is, folks, we have not lost anything in the gold on the long side. Let's take a look here. I say that with tongue in cheek because we exited our long gold position about 4 days ago at 1778, and we're back to 1777 right now, which I had to sweat that last $20-some out. But I'm looking for a buy in this stuff. I think we got a long way to go in the gold market. I'm just waiting to probably buy it early in the week next week because it's given up, $20-some in the first day, and that's the kind of action you want to see at the top. Thank goodness we have Mr. David White in his service here at TFNN because he posted this for the gold, if you'll be able to see this. Hey, we've got Mr. Z on the line. He's in the house. John, how are you?
Larry, I'm very well. There is panic, as you mentioned, over there on the Board of Trade. What do you make of this?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Z, let me give you my heads up on this because, you know, I talk to Rich all the time, and he pays like $2,500 a month for these, what do you call these things, these weather services and stuff. And I'm going to put this chart in so the folks can see it. It's a chart of the July soybeans, folks. And if you'll notice here at the very tippy top up there where it says 1.618, that came in at 15.04 3/4. And John, you're not going to believe this, but I sold that puppy last night at 15.04 1/2. And it broke 13 cents, and I said, oh, man, I've got him. And then I realized, I better be careful here. And then a few minutes later, I was out even. So I'm seeing great action here. But the problem seems to be in the soybean oil. It's limit bid into May. I mean, it hasn't even budged off limit now for well over an hour and a half. So evidently cash oil is needed. So that's it's going to go higher. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, it's a very good, Larry. I thought I would share with you some results of studies that I did just the past 2 days, and that is to attempt to understand what is possible. And I went back and I looked at the surge in Minneapolis wheat. That's the hard red spring wheat grown up in Minnesota and the Dakotas. And there was a rally starting late 2007 that ended in February or March of 2008. and the price of Minneapolis wheat went from $6 over 20. I think the actual high print was like 24. And of course, wheat has never traded there ever before and ever since. But that was an episode that was illuminating for me, since, of course, I had never seen anything like that before. And I was going back and studying things just so I could get psychologically prepared for, quote-unquote, the unthinkable. And frankly, Larry, what's right now as we speak, the unthinkable seems to be going on in corn, in the May corn, which will go into delivery in a week's time. But do you happen to have a chart of that? And
yes, I do.
Tell me what you see with that daily contract.
Well, all I'm looking at here, I'm looking at Christmas corn is what I'm watching. And the last price I show here, and I posted this about an hour ago, was at $5.40 a bushel. I don't know where it is now, but the high had been $5.44. I imagine we've taken that out, but I'm not sure whether we have or not. But the fact that we had a 9-cent correction in the middle of the morning, which is a surprise, but my goodness, it stopped right at the 382 and went right back up. That was telling you this market is a very, very powerful, very, very powerful weather market. And you know as well as I do, those things can go far, far longer than any technician could ever pull his pencil out to figure out.
Yeah, just for my benefit, yours, and perhaps your listeners, I'll just share my understanding of what's unfolding here. It was, in fact, I think it was Tuesday the 13th, so that's just 9 calendar days ago that you and Rich had a conversation.
Yes.
And just by way of reference, the corn markets, the United States is producing somewhere on the order of 14 billion bushels each growing season. And the supply and demand balance this year has it that come the end of summer, before the next harvest, say Labor Day, we'll have 1 billion bushels left in the bin. So you produce 14, you have 1 billion left over at the end of the season. That's pretty tight as far as the corn market is concerned. In the past 9 days, 2 things have happened. Everybody in the trade has been aware that the weather down in Brazil regarding the second corn crop, and that's the stuff that's planted like January, February, maybe into early March. The trade has known the weather has been drying out quicker than hoped for. But in the past day, 2 or 3, there's been talk in the markets, and of course we don't know if this is true, only time's going to tell, that the Brazilian second corn... Oops.
Hey, we got to pay a few bills. Stay with us, John. This is important information for the grain traders.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
If you're not currently using the Taz Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The Taz Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, Taz understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the Taz Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the Taz Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we're back, folks. John, is Maycorn limit up?
Yes, sir. So, Larry, to finish the thoughts, with the drying weather in Brazil affecting that second corn crop down there, the talk has just emerged in the past 48 hours that there is potential that that crop size will be 1 billion bushels less than hoped for just 2 weeks ago. Now, of course, only time will tell if that's anywhere close to being accurate, but a 1 billion bushel shortfall down in Brazil, compare and contrast that with the estimate that 1 billion bushels be left on the shelf in the U.S. come mid to late August. So you can see a loss of 1 billion bushels of production is a situation amidst a very tight situation to begin with. So that's the new news the past 9 days since you and Rich spoke. And then I just, as I said, I had gone back and studied that exponential rise in Minneapolis wheat back in 2008 it was. And what had happened there, which is happening to some extent in May corn right now, is that not just speculators bidding this up, but a fair number of players in the commercial trades who had sold short the futures contracts, hoping to deliver cash corn against that contract, apparently are finding themselves not being able to come up with the corn to deliver against this May contract, which goes into delivery starting next Friday. So I just wanted to share that with you, those details. And in that environment, the price action in that May corn contract can do, quote-unquote, the unthinkable. And frankly, I'm not involved with that May corn. I'm only in the Dees. But I thought you might find that of interest.
Yeah, I sure do. John, do you remember back in 1973 when Bunge was short corn with none for delivery?
Yeah.
And it moved $1.
Back when I was in grade school, Larry.
Yeah, well. Anyway, it was trading for $3 a bushel, which was high because it always traded about $1.25, $1.50. It was trading about $3 a bushel near the high. I happened to be in. I had one contract left of July corn, and Bungie was short, and I came in, and Roy told me, my broker Roy Fassel said, this corn's going to be up 50 cents, and the limit on corn at that time was 10 cents. That was equivalent to 5 limit. I got out of that corn $5,000 a bushel higher, a whole dollar a bushel, because there was nothing for there, and it just went. I never seen anything like that. I mean, I thought it was going to happen again, but never has. But I happened to be really lucky. I got really lucky.
Larry, thanks for your work, and we'll look forward to your conversation with Tim Bust.
Okay, thank you so much for calling in, Mr. Z, and we certainly appreciate the work you've given us here, and we really enjoy that very much. Okay, folks, we'll take a look at a few other things that we're looking at here. We've got the like we said, the corn market and stuff is moving. Folks, what goes up does come down, and I will tell you this, there will be corn available. There will be soybeans available. At least I think they will. This might be the one time when it doesn't, but I've been through these things many, many times before. In fact, it was a day similar to this back in June of 1976, where I was long a whole bunch of this stuff, and they were talking about the market going up 4 or 5 limits, and it never did. It just turned around and went lower. So that's the main thing. Now, we do have one of the things that we've been watching here is the natural gas. We had a really nice move off of the high down here. We backed off $1,000 a contract, and now we've come right back up to that 382 level, folks, at 277.5. So it's got to get above that in order to be some type of a breakout. But we've had a really nice move up and down in that today. So that's one that we're really paying attention to. Now let's move on to the foreign exchange markets. Now this is what we call Frustration City. Those of you that belong to the 24/7 service, you know that I was trying to sell the British pound yesterday, and we missed it by a heartbeat, and of course it just fell totally out of bed, and we were sitting there holding an empty basket, and then the same thing happened in the euro today. The euro missed us by about 15 pips, and then the European Union, whatever those dudes do over there, came out with buying bonds, selling bonds, whatever they're talking about, and that one dropped quite a bit. So we're still looking at those. But right now, there's nothing there. Those of you that get that video, you'll notice that the extreme support that was setting there in the dollar index at that 9100 level, it'd been there actually for 3 days, setting right at the 61% retracement, down 3 weeks from the high. I mean, extremely overbought. And then, of course, it took off today and had a pretty good rally, i.e. the euro dropping, and then also the pound, and then also, the Canadian dollar. All of those have sold off against the U.S. dollar because the dollar index stopped to be so strong. One of the big questions that I get here every day, well, not every day, but at least once a week, is about the why I don't talk too much about astrology. Folks, I don't make my business, I don't make money off astrology. I've studied it. I know there's something there. I've made some money off of it, of course. But when I'm looking at trading, folks, all I look at is those patterns. That tells me everything I want to know. I can see where the buyers and sellers are. I don't have to worry about the weather. All I got to do is just say, okay, if I'm going to buy something here, how much is it going to cost me to see if I'm going to be right or wrong? And that's all I really need to do. I know there's people out there, Rich and Cy and a whole bunch of other people that, spend a lot of money on weather services, up to $2,500, $3,000 a month. And I don't do any of that because I just look at the prices, and that's really what I'm trying to do. And as far as the cryptocurrencies, I'm not involved with those. Again, over my pay grade. They may or may not be a bubble. I don't know. I don't think they are, just because of the fact that it's $1 trillion market now. That doesn't mean it can't be any good, but we'll see here. Hold on. We might have a caller coming in. Okay, Cindy's saying about how the moon cycles go. I do use the moon cycles, Cindy. I forgot about that. That's basically a 14-day cycle that we see all the time, and I watch new moons and full moons, and I watch the retrograde planets and stuff like that. But what I do is, if those line up with the patterns, then I have a little bit more confidence. But I'm going to do those regardless of astrology. I mean, if I see a pattern of a 3-drive pattern or a perfect, Gartley butterfly pattern that tells me the amount of money that I have to risk is very, very small, I'm going to do that because I don't know what the unknown is. But guess what, boys and girls? Nobody else does either. And so that's why I keep watching the charts and gives me a better idea of what we're looking. We will have Tim Boston, who happens to be one of the real professionals in this business and has done incredibly well. And, he uses some astrology, as does Arch Crawford and, Norm Winsky. And okay, we'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den trading room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we're back, and we have Mr. Tim Bost on the line today. And fortunately, the market is higher because we said we would have him back if the market was going to be higher on the 22nd of April, Earth Day, and sure enough, it is.
It bounced right back up, didn't it? How about that?
Hey, listen, you got a big program here, or a big notation here. Selling may go away, and then there's a chart that I posted right after it. I don't know if you're having some of those exotic mushrooms that they have down there in Sarasota, but can you explain to me what this?
They're all very tasty.
Yeah, I'll bet you they are. Tell us what these astro charts are, Tim.
Yeah, so we were remembering this old adage about sell in May and go away, and oftentimes that proves to be an annual high for the markets and a point especially for longer term positions to kind of take some money off the table and back off a bit. So decided to look at this from an astrological perspective. This is a tool we call a graphic ephemeris, and what we have is an 8th harmonic projection of the positions of the planets in a calendar fashion. And so with this, what we're able to do then is zoom in over on the right. That column represents the month of May, and we're looking here to kind of zoom in on that a little bit with the planetary lines that come together on this chart. Tells us what's happening in the sky. And what caught my attention was toward the end of May, on the 26th there, we've got Mars and Zeus lining up in the 8th harmonic, as well as a lunar eclipse occurring. And that's kind of an interesting combination that suggests that we could get some extra stress going on around that time. So wanted to kind of walk through this process a little bit here to show how we can pick up on an astrological event like this and then evaluate it as to whether or not it's going to mean something for us with the markets. So in this particular case, this is what the astrological horoscope looks like for this full moon, or excuse me, this lunar eclipse that we have coming up on the 26th of May. The orange line there connects the sun on the left with the moon on the right. Every lunar eclipse is also a full moon, which is, from the Earth's perspective, an opposition of the sun and the moon. They're opposite ends of the sky. Of course, we get a full moon every month. Not all full moons are lunar eclipses, but all lunar eclipses are also full moons. So we're looking at this as a full moon alignment between the sun and the moon. And what we notice here, because we looked at our diagram there and it said something's going on with Mars and the trans-Neptunian factor Zeus at that same time frame. And we can see with our red line there on the left side we have Mars, and on the right end of it is the symbol for the trans-Neptunian factor Zeus. They are 90 degrees apart. We refer to that as a square aspect. 90 degrees cuts the circle of 360 degrees into 4 parts, and so that makes a square. And in this case, it is a waning square, which means that Mars is kind of closing in on the conjunction rather than separating from the position of Zeus in the sky. So this gives us something to work with, and it's obviously a very, very potent time. Another tool that we like to use in looking at astrological configurations is, of course, the graphic of, the 90-degree dial. Here, let's see if I can get my slide to advance. There it goes. So with a 90-degree dial, we're looking at the same configuration. Over on the right side with the red pointer at point A, that is the lunar eclipse as it factors in from this particular perspective. And we see the sun and the moon, the symbols for them, sitting right on top of each other because from the this 90-degree dial perspective, that opposition becomes a conjunction of the two. Now, what's interesting here is at the opposite end of that, we're seeing this line up at point B with that Mars-Zeus waxing square. We've got the symbols for Mars and Zeus over on the left side of that diagram. And then along the way, we also pick up another midpoint structure, which was not evident before, but it's the midpoint of the trans-Neptunian factors Hades and Vulcanus that gets triggered by that lunar eclipse and by that Mars-Zeus waning square. So what we've got here, in essence, is a picture of some very, very potent planetary alignments. And of course, we were scanning May with the notion of, okay, what's going on astrologically that might trigger a potential trading top during the course of this month. Now, the eclipse itself is quite capable of moving the markets. It's not unusual as we look back in trading history to see both lunar eclipses and solar eclipses hit particular major inflection points with the markets. And so what we're seeing here is a potential for a trading top around that time based on the lunar eclipse by itself. As we look at these other factors, however, things get potentially more stressful. And certainly there's a lot of emotional stress that gets added to the mix when we activate that Hades Volcanus midpoint. Hades is all about doing things in the worst possible way, and Volcanus is essentially having explosive energy that moves that process forward pretty dramatically. So sometimes we can get some particularly unsavory events surrounding that kind of thing. And that's not unusual during full moons in general as well, and certainly that amplification of the full moon energy at the lunar eclipse could also add to that. When we look at... Yes.
Tim, I have penciled you in for May 25th, so do not let us down, and please be on our show on May 25th. That will determine whether you're going to be on the following.
Okay. We're going to do that Tuesday, May 25th. We'll do that the day before all this comes down. We may get together between now and then and revise everything. Yes. How's that?
Yeah. 10th of May, we'll do an update, of course. But when you have so much things happening like this, because these are the types of things that, that I know there's the astrology is the key to this darn thing. I've never been able to unlock it. I can see the patterns and I can understand the risk, but when you see stuff like this and you've seen it in the past and people have explained it to you, then you watch it unfold. It's it's really going to be something. So May 26th is going to be a really big, and I think it's an anniversary date of the high in 2007 or 8, I believe. I don't remember which one. It was right at the end of May of one of those years that we had the big move there. So this is going to be interesting too.
Definitely be something to check out there. And there are other factors, of course, that we'll be looking at. But by using this particular tool with the graphic ephemeris, what I was trying to do was just take a quick visual glance and say, okay, where's a potential hot spot here? And it kind of jumped out at me, so I wanted to present it in this fashion to say, hey, when we see these things, then there's a particular procedure we can follow to approach it a little bit more analytically and see how likely it is to make things happen. So as we talk about Mars and Zeus here, and that combination, Mars is, of course, the application of energy, and so we associate it with athletics and getting things done and working intensely, and also with police actions and warfare, and that's amplified by Zeus.
We'll be right back, folks, with Tim Boss, Financial Cycles Weekly.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Okay, we're back, folks. We're talking with Tim Boss, Financial Cycles Weekly. Tim, do you want to continue, my friend?
Certainly. What we're looking at here is our 90-degree dial projection of this lunar eclipse we've got coming up on the 26th of May, and trying to point out some of the dynamics that are there. The big one, in addition to the fact that it's a lunar eclipse, is, of course, this 90-degree alignment between Mars and the trans-Neptunian factor Zeus. Now, when we talk about these trans-Neptunian factors, these are distant objects outside the orbit of Pluto that coincide with the Kuiper belt that was discovered a couple decades ago. Lots of tiny little rocks out there floating around in space with very, very distant orbits, but the interactions with the planets with some of those smaller objects in deep space actually proves out to be significant. And when we get the Mars-Zeus combination, we're dealing with situations that require a great deal of effort, and oftentimes military or police action is associated with that as well. So it's a very, very powerful kind of combination. But of course, we're interested in this mainly from the perspective of the markets. And fortunately, we can use some of our tools to do some back testing here. This is the S&P chart. Or the chart for the S&P's response, shall we say, to the Mars-Zeus waning squares. Now, we note here that a square is a 90-degree angle between two planets, and we have the waxing square that comes right after the planetary conjunction, and then there's one 180 degrees away from that, which is really a 270-degree angle. We refer to that as the waning square, the short way around. It's actually 90 degrees as well. But we separate that because it gives us a more fine-tuned method of doing our backtesting and looking at the planetary patterns with market correlations. The 0 point in the middle of this chart for the S&P 500 is the date of the Mars-Zeus waning square. This will occur, it'll actually be exact on the 27th of May. They get the lunar eclipse amplifying it 12 hours or so earlier, but that's the trigger date that we're looking at. To the left of that, we have the average response of the S&P for 30 calendar days before when one of these events, and then on the right side, 30 days afterwards. It's kind of a choppy pattern, but we definitely see a peak coming roughly a week after the exact date of this event in terms of the price action with the S&P on average, and a decline then after that. So this peak will actually fall in early June this time around, but it may be a signal of selling in May and going away. But what we're looking at this as then is a pattern based on our back testing that gives us an overall set of expectations for the price movement of the S&P during that 60-day time frame. And obviously we're painting with a pretty broad brush there, but it still gives us something that we can anticipate. If we go back and look at this and try to optimize this in terms of a trading environment, then we can get an optimized trading situation out of this. In terms of the highest probability, best return, and using this planetary pattern as an indicator or forecasting device for our trading activity, we're looking at a long position in the S&P, setting up about before this occurs, and that would be buying on May the 17th, which would be a Monday. We take a long position in the S&P on that date, and we would hold it until the 3rd of June. Which would be a couple of weeks duration there, almost 3 weeks duration with that. So we're talking about a swing trade here, not a day trade, but it gives us a way of assessing this from a trader's perspective rather than that old adage which says for long-term investors, sell in May and go away, take your summer vacation, and then come back and get back into the market. So for traders, we want a little shorter-term perspective there.
Yeah, Tim, I found that to be the strongest seasonal of anything I've ever looked at is the sell in May. Not exactly May, but, in the spring, late spring, and then go away until November. And that has been by far, if you'd a person had done that over the past 60 years, you'd have absolutely destroyed the return of the S&P 500. I mean, it's just an amazing statistic.
It really is a very, very strong indicator there. Yeah. Who knows why it happens, but here's one thing that we can look at and say, okay, maybe we can fine-tune it this time around, and we might want to hang on for a few days, at least to the 3rd of June. But all of this is amplified, of course, by this eclipse. Based on our backtesting with this, by the way, we found that if we follow this particular pattern, we have a 77% likelihood of this being a winning trade, a profitable trade on that kind of time frame. So that's the cool thing about this. We can see what the market has done in the past when we have these planetary alignments, and then make our own decisions about whether or not it's worth taking a look at. 77% is not quite a slam dunk, but it's enough of a probability to catch our attention. So that's why I want to talk about it.
Okay, we've got Michelle's asking a question about, are you still looking for a high in the late April period?
Yes, and in fact, what we were forecasting earlier, last time we talked, was a pullback into around the 20th of April, and then a high up into the 26th, 27th. Early next week, we'll have that Pluto station that we believe will mark a trading top at that point. And then a gradual decline all the way into the solar eclipse, which comes in the 10th of June. So we're looking at this intermediate price movement along the way there as a possibility of doing a swing trade in the opposite direction of what we believe is going to be the prevailing trend at that time.
Okay, that's good. Tim, we've got time for your favorite subject. Bitcoin.
Okay. This until the last.
I know. Let's talk about Bitcoin, my friend.
And so, what we've been looking at here from the astrological perspective, and we mentioned this on some occasions, and I personally have been amazed at how well these support and resistance zones as defined by the trans-Neptunian factor Chronos have been holding up with Bitcoin. The last time we talked, Bitcoin had just broken above the 60,000 mark, and we were forecasting that resistance would would be there at 64,230. I think it actually traded on an intraday basis to 64,800 and something when it hit that peak. Our graph here is the closing price for each day based on the New York market closes. So
I got a lot of complaints about that. The fact that you weren't exactly accurate. The fact that you were off 600 points, something 64,000.
When you're dealing with daily price bars and you're talking about Bitcoin, you're never accurate. In fact, I haven't checked it since. About 2 hours ago, I checked the price today. It was trading at 54,649, which I put on this chart, because we've got this support zone at 55,230, and earlier this morning it was trading at 55,180, I think. So we're in that zone, and it's a buying opportunity, I believe.
Hey, let's stay with us here for a few more minutes, Tim. We want to let folks give you a commercial, okay?
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of The Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
We're back, folks, with Tim Boss, Financial Cycles Weekly, and we are due for a commercial for Financial Cycles Weekly. Tell the folks how they can reach you, Tim. Tim must have thought the show was over, and it's not. We'll move on to the next thing. Folks, we have some interesting... you're still back.
I'm here.
Oh, good. Tell the folks how they can reach you, my friend.
Yeah. Right. We've got special access to our free webinars and other good things. Go to bit.ly/TimLarryP capital T, capital L, capital P. Everything is lowercase. That'll get us connected here. We do have a free webinar coming up tomorrow on Friday of this week, and we also have a recording of a recent advanced training workshop that we did that's available for purchase. So if you connect there, we'll give you all the details on all the good stuff we've got going on here. And we are constantly looking at the markets from the astrological perspective, and that's what makes us the global leader in astro trading education.
Well, you've done a great job. I'll tell you, I called my good buddy Arch Crawford to get your cell number because I had lost your other number. And he said he just spoke to you the other day, and he said to say hello to you today. So,
good. Yeah. He had a birthday the other day, so I wanted to observe that.
Yeah, same as J.P. Morgan, April the 17th. I was asking, how's it feel to be 80? And he says, shut up. He said, 2 more months you're going to be there. And I said, yeah, I already feel that. I can't believe.
Weirder it seems, right? So.
I can't believe where 60 years is gone. I really can't. I did my first trade in 1959. That was 62 years ago.
That's amazing.
My father didn't live to be 62.
Isn't it something?
Yeah.
I think it's paying attention to the markets and drinking all the Kool-Aid that keeps us healthy. I don't know.
Yeah. And the mushrooms. Don't forget the mushrooms.
Don't forget the mushrooms. Yeah. Exactly.
Tim, thanks for joining us, buddy. And we are going to see you for sure on May the 25th. And we're also going to see you sometime in early May. I'll firm that date up a little earlier.
We'll communicate that and then pop in around the May 10th or something, whatever. I'll get back to you on that one. But we got 25th on the calendar. Looking forward to it. Have a good one. All right.
See you tomorrow, folks, and our guest will be none other than Stan the Man Harley.